Drum roll, please. Hello, and welcome to our first podcast called Beyond the Classroom Podcast. We are so excited to start this journey with you. I'm one of the hosts, Tabitha.
And I'm Caleb, and together we'll be your hosts and we'll be exploring all the wonderful ideas happening here at ALS.
This is an especially meaningful year for our school. This year we're celebrating our 20th anniversary. Over the past 2 decades, ALS has grown from just 40 students to the vibrant international community we are today.
And our first guest is the esteemed Dr. Browne.
Now,
welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you. So good. How can I follow an introduction like that? Esteemed. I'm only going to disappoint you now.
Today we'll be talking with Dr. Browne about his vision for the academics at ALS, maybe some strengths and challenges of international education in general, and of course, what this 20th anniversary milestone means to our school.
Excellent. And let's go ahead and dive right in. Dr. Browne, again, welcome.
Thank you. Good to be here.
So you're now in your second year as the superintendent of ALS. What's been the most rewarding part of leading the school so far? I should probably say that again. Let me say that one more time. So you're now in your second year as a superintendent here at ALS. What has been the most rewarding part of leading the school so far?
Well, it's a good question. I think the second year is definitely a lot easier than the first year. At least starting. As both of you will know, transitioning to a new school is never easy. The most rewarding part of it, I think, sometimes you kind of need to stand back and have a look at it a little bit. I mean, there was a lot of heavy lifting that was done last year. There was a lot of energy. One of the things that always impressed me about ALS, there's a lot of energy behind the school. There's a lot of people who are really invested in the school.
Yes.
And I don't mean that financially, I mean that emotionally, professionally, giving their energy and commitment. So it's tapping into that, I think, is really, really important. And seeing that, and seeing some fruit coming of that as well is really, really important. Maybe to name some of the things, just when you see coming out of COVID, the whole idea of after-school activities kicking off again, experiential learning, service learning, maybe on the other side the students won't see just even some structures and procedures, because what worked for a school of 40 students or a school of 600 is not going to work for a school of 1,300. So there has been a lot going on. There's a lot of new energy coming into the school as well, new positions, new staff members as well. So that's really good. But it's also the context and environment that we're in. So it's been a learning experience for me. You can't recreate the school of your past. You can't just take what worked there and plop it down here. That's not the way it works, or any school should. So, and if you look at Saudi Arabia and the kingdom, look at the vision, look at all these aspirations and everything that's been coupled with that. It's just a very exciting time to see these developments at ALS, to see them in the context of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Vision 2030 and the Human Capabilities Index. It just seems to just fit so well together.
And we're all a part of it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just amazing. And you hear that from parents as well. Such a young population. So it's re-energized me as a professional, I have to say as well. It's really good.
I love that.
What do you see as the biggest strengths of any of the academic programs going on at the school today?
There's many, and I suppose if I start listing them, and I'll leave out some and people will get upset with me, so apologies in advance. But I think that 20 years and being an IB program, we talk about legacy schools, and I was talking to another school, a British school, who was founded in 1552.
Wow.
And in Europe, that's a legacy.
Wow, yeah.
It doesn't mean they're any good.
Like
It just means you're a legacy.
Yeah.
I think things in the Middle East are just a little bit younger. So I think 20 years will be a legacy in the Middle East. Now, I'm not saying it'll be a 500-year legacy, but when you have an IB school, a continuum school of PYP, MYP, and DP that's established, that means something. You've got people that have been here for 20 years. That means something. There's a certain continuity. There's a certain, we know what we're doing. So that's good. It doesn't mean we're standing still. It doesn't mean that we're just accepting it for what it is, because we have to join up some of the dots.
Sure.
But I talk here about academic. I mean, in a school, you can't just look at academics. You really have to look at the holistic side of it, because the academics won't happen if people don't feel happy, healthy, and safe. So we have to kind of get that right as well. And we're doing that, and more needs to be done just around the structures of the school, how we interact with each other, how we engage, because people spend more time here than they do at home.
Yes.
And it has to be a safe, secure environment. It has to be an environment where everybody can share and tell their story. And that's part of the fabric, and that's part of the whole ethos of what makes an international school as well. It's not just the passports, you know, it's the stories that people bring, it's their sense of self, their sense of identity. And again, having that in a country like this, which is a young, vibrant, energetic country, that's really the thing as well. So as regards to the academics, there are certain things I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to our middle leadership structure, bringing more coherence to the programs, bringing more coherence across the school, but also an avenue to be able to celebrate the subject, both in the school and outside the school, because we don't want to be a bubble in the community as well. We're very much part of the community, and all learning has to be co-created. It has to be created with the student, the teacher, the family, the community. So, you know, that whole constructivist idea of learning, it has to be co-created, because if we just do it on our own in isolation, it's very easy for me to prepare a lesson plan.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's going to engage anybody. So we have to kind of work that out.
Get the community involved.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I know you said we're not going to be here in 500 years, but we would hope that our legacy is.
Yeah, well, speak for yourself. I'm working on things here. I've been here for 500 years.
Let me know what your secret is. Education has been changing so quickly. Here at ALS, how are we adapting to these changes with technology and also global trends?
Yeah, but let's be frank here, with technology, there's a lot to do. And it's not an ALS issue, it's every school.
Yeah.
Of course.
When you get governments and corporations struggling to keep up, which are extremely well resourced, and you talk about AI, and legislation is not even keeping pace with AI. Absolutely no way. The whole idea of identity, the whole idea of data protection, the whole idea of ethics when it comes to using AI, you know, particularly huge language models. I mean, all that information is being fed into train AI, but where's it all going? Where's your personal data going when you use it to train AI? So, but as a school, I think we have to have a good long look at it. It's one of our major objectives this year. We're bringing in some people to help us on this, particularly with AI. And let's start with the teachers. How can it help lessen a teacher workload? How can it help make sure that things can be more engaging, more adaptive as well?
Sure.
It's
Particularly with
helpful sometimes.
Yeah, it is, because it's just very overwhelming to keep on top of it all. But we need the guardrails and guidelines as well. We have to get the policies and procedures here. But I'm always a little skeptical too, because I think we need to be very careful here. I was talking to a vendor recently who was talking about gamification. We all get excited about that. It sounds nice.
Sounds
It
nice.
sounds nice. Yeah, but is it really just entertainment? You know, entertainment. Now, I'm not saying learning can't be joy, but if it's entertainment, no learning, then just, you know,
There's a
that's
difference
really
between entertainment and engagement.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
this is how I feel as a teacher on a daily basis.
Absolutely. But I also think too with technology that there's that whole, I can't even remember who it was, that whole SAM model, that we're not just substituting one thing with another. The S for substitution, M for A is for adjustment, M for modification, or for redefinition.
Okay.
So again, look at a smart board. It might as well be a blackboard and chalk, the way some of us use it. You know, it's not redefining. It's not really redefining any learning experience. So how do we take all this AI and it's actually redefining the learning experience and engagement? Some wonderful things I've seen in lessons here at ALS is looking at characters, and you have to write their Insta profile from the characters.
Yes, the kids love it.
Yeah.
I do something similar with my 7th graders.
Yeah, but that's interesting. Or even getting characters in AI to dialogue with each other. You know, just even
I
take a
haven't
twist.
seen the animation part of that, but I'm sure it's...
It is, you know, writing an agent or something on AI. But again, it has to be productive, it has to be meaningful. I mean, just one of our themes this year has been, you remember for the staff meetings, is impact. You know, we're not just doing things just to do them, because we're busy enough, we've got a lot going on. We have to make sure it has some sort of meaningful, measurable, positive impact on what's going on. Whatever it is, big or small.
So, moving forward, related to international education today as a whole, what are some challenges that you've noticed at ALS in general? I know you've mentioned some of them, but is there something even more specific?
There's a lot going on. I mean, the whole landscape of education is changing. The whole landscape of international education is changing. I mean, if you look at the programs like IB. There's been a lot of talk around concept-based, inquiry-based curriculum, ATLs, but still we need to kind of bring that down. You know, what does that mean at a tangible, real level? We still talk about 21st century education, this idea of flexibility, adaptability. I love it. I wish I prepared it for this. There was a quote I saw, and it talked about students in schools for the next century need to be able to be adaptable in their thinking, being able to change careers and jobs more quickly, not be stuck in one way of thinking. Do you know what year it was from? 1904. It was the English educational system talking about the 20th century in 1904, and we're using the same things to talk about the 21st century.
Yeah.
And we're still talking about 21st century education. And here's the real kicker: there are kids in our school who will be living in the 22nd century, and we're still talking about 21st century education.
But they're way ahead.
Yeah.
And I can't keep up.
Yeah.
Especially with all the trends.
But we don't need to keep up. I mean, that's what, you know, how do you predict the future? You predict the future, you create the future, if you want to predict it.
Well, I've seen Terminator 2 before. You gotta be careful.
What was the name of the company?
Skynet.
Skynet.
Yes.
Skynet is
There
real.
it is. So here at ALS, how do families and parents support the academic journey of their children here at the school?
I mean, it kind of goes back to this idea of co-creation of learning or education. There's very few facts in education. Yeah, we think about it, we study it, we study it, there's very few. There is one that I always bang on about every now and again. One is, an effective teacher can do twice as much in half the time as an ineffective teacher. Somebody's actually measured that. A guy by the name of Dylan Williams, and there's a huge amount of data on that. Or John Hattie and his data about teacher efficacy as the biggest predicator of student success. It's not class size, it's not money, it's not affluence. It's, does a teacher believe in you?
Yeah.
Is a teacher competent and capable in their job?
Makes the difference.
Definitely.
Do they have the efficacy in themselves as well? So, you know, thinking about parents here, the other fact is that if the parents are connected to the school in a positive, meaningful way, that's an indicator of success for the child.
And
as
they
well.
will do anything for you as well.
Yeah.
Like they will support you in anything, class projects, behind the scenes, coming to all the events with the students. If they're involved, it's awesome. It's actually, at ALS has been one of the first schools where the parents are super involved.
Very much so.
In a good way, and they've supported me more. In America, I didn't really get as much as that.
That's a whole other conversation.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a whole different conversation, but I just want to say this is something very positive in my perspective as a teacher.
I agree.
With ALS.
Yeah, it is. And when you see a child, I mean, let's use the word child and rather student, if they see 2, 3 important adults in their lives invested in them, their teacher and their parents, talking about them, their well-being. Yeah. So it kind of creates an energy. Parent involvement isn't always an interesting one, and I'm sorry parents, I do have to bring this up because there's 2 elements to that. There's the element of being supportive, but parenting as a verb.
Yeah.
All right, it's the most difficult job anybody can do, without question, by far. And parents are the first educators.
Yeah.
All right, so working in harmony with the school, and I do really appreciate it. I haven't seen it that much here, but I've seen it, and I've been lucky enough in schools where parents have been highly involved. Not always positively, but highly involved.
Yeah.
You know, you hear that term, tiger parent or helicopter parent.
Yep.
In Norway, they talk about the snowplow parent.
I've never heard of that.
And they're pushing everything, because they're taking every difficulty or challenge away from the child. Like a snowplow, taking the snow away. So, you know, as I was saying at a staff meeting, education is difficult, but it has to be done. Sometimes failing is okay.
Yes, that's how you learn.
That's how you learn. Now again, I'm talking about low stakes, low risk. Sometimes learning a lesson the hard way is the best lesson. I talk about myself. I've learned a couple of lessons the hard way.
Yeah.
So probably the best thing that has ever happened to me. So let's not take that away, because what we're doing is we're taking away any sense of resilience, any sense of grit, any sense of internal intrinsic motivation to get up and go. So I do not like seeing kids, the nanny carrying the bag.
Me either.
I don't care if you're 3 years of age or 19 years of age. The nanny carrying your bag. Yeah, and our kids can do it. We know that. We give them opportunities to do it.
Especially when we go on the trips for the first time with the 6th graders last year.
Yeah.
they really learned how to pack a suitcase, how to be ready, and it was amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I had to show them a couple times too, some of the students, but it was really fun to see.
Wonderful.
To see how independent they can be.
Yeah, and they are. They have to be given the chance, and we know that. We see it. And we talk about Vision 2030. I just think it's amazing that human capabilities talks about perseverance.
Yeah.
It talks about resilience. It talks about that adaptability. It talks about that sense of self-motivation. Discipline.
Yeah.
And Saudi Arabia has identified this because maybe in other parts of the world we've lost it. So, and that's ambitious because it's not just about Vision 2030, it's going to be Vision 2050, Vision 2080.
I know when we get to 2030, I'm like, what's going to happen?
Oh, there'll be another one.
It's so futuristic right now with how much construction and everything going on.
Yeah, but
and I'm just like, are we living? It feels like we're living in the future, but then we kind of are because 10 years ago I would have said the same thing right now. So
but it's not just beauty. I was talking about the best way to predict the future is create it. Isn't Saudi Arabia doing that?
Yes.
It's creating the future. We're all looking to these giga projects, but again, they get all the headlines for all the reasons, and understandably so. But it's the people. I mean, that whole idea of that education and building up the educational environment in Saudi. And if you look at our IB or learner profile or ATLs, it just marries so well with anything to do with Vision 2030 and the capability index as well. So, as I said, it's an exciting time that these changes are happening here, and they're happening at the macro level within Saudi as well, within the kingdom.
Speaking of changes, the 20th. What's that? Sorry, Caleb.
I'm sorry.
Because I was excited. Okay, take
You guys are bouncing so well off each other.
You're perfect, but I wasn't
Sorry about
expecting
that.
your
That's
face.
my fault.
No, do it. It's okay, but I wasn't ready.
Okay.
Speaking of changes, this is the 20th anniversary this year. And how would you balance the 2 decades of tradition with also introducing these new ideas for the future of anything?
Mm-hmm. Run that back.
I'm sorry.
We got it.
It's okay.
Because I just messed up again because.
Why are you apologizing for laughing and smiling?
No, I'm okay, but because this question was not working in my head.
Friends,
No,
you want to
no
phrase it? You got this.
But I'm trying to think of how I started before.
Go to the next question.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, this year marks the 20th anniversary. How do you balance celebrating these 2 decades of tradition with everything new happening?
Yeah, very good question. I mean, what is it? The past is never an indicator of future success. Let's be very frank about that, and let's be honest about it. But I still think it's important to celebrate.
Yeah.
I mean, 20 years is absolutely amazing.
Yes.
The students that have gone through this school, that have graduated out of it.
Some of the students, their kids now are here.
Yeah.
From
Yeah.
when they were here years ago.
Wow.
You really do hear that. And as I said, as a young school or a young region, it's exciting to hear that as well. But I think celebrations are important. As I said, the students who've gone through it, but also think about all the staff, whatever the role in the school, who are either here for 20 years and
There is a lot of people that stay.
Yeah.
And this is amazing.
I know someone who's been here for 17 years.
Yes.
17.
Well, there's a
Well, even some of the principals.
Yeah.
Have been teachers here, then vice principals, then principals,
Yeah.
and I haven't seen this very much in America.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
not in an international school. It's very rare because it is transitory. You know that people may not stay for a long time.
Yes.
So coming in and out. And again, 2 principals who've been here 20 years. And that institutional memory and being part of that journey, especially with a newbie coming in, you know, all these ideas. Well, you've tried it. Maybe it doesn't work. Think about the context. So it's good to be able to have that. But also think about the colleagues or leaders who've kind of come for a couple of years and left. I mean, they're part of that journey as well. They're part of that success story. So we honor that as well. That's important. And we are looking at an event, and maybe I'll say it now, the 9th of February. An event here to celebrate that. So there'll be tours of the school, there'll be maybe photo gallery walks, some speeches, and we'll invite people back in a way to connect the community. Well, it's actually to kick off the alumni. And that's one of the things. That is really a big thing, is the alumni relations. Let's be honest, we haven't done enough in that in 20 years. Because it's just amazing what these people, I was going to say students, but people are up to now. and maybe if they want to give a little back in the sense of maybe they have expertise in a career area and share that with students, or just burst that bubble between school and the community, they can help in that too. Plus, we never know what our alumni will be up to in a couple of years.
Well, there's even a student in the girls' campus who's at the school and she's like a designer.
Yeah.
So she designed the girls' side with the, what do you call it?
The benches and
yes,
the courtyard.
Yes, the benches, the courtyard.
Yeah.
The courtyard.
Yeah.
She designed everything.
Yeah,
Even in the
right.
cafeteria as well.
Yeah.
Like she's the one that put it together.
But I would say that has been and I mentioned this man, I thank her so much for her work over the last couple of months. But it's just excited to give back, and that's really part of it. And she remembers the teachers and where they were sitting too. So yeah, it's really exciting to see that. It's really exciting to be part of it. But again, it's always thinking about the future. As I said, you never know what these students will be up to in the future. I was at a school where Bezos was an alumni, the Bezos family. Now Jeff had just graduated a little bit out, but the younger brother, I think Mark was his name, has done a lot for NGOs, particularly firefighting and awareness and things like this as well. He used to come back and speak at graduation. So you never know, especially in a country like this, the country of the future.
And it's important to give kids a new idea, another job, another career they can have.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
We have 1,300 students.
Yeah.
That is
about.
Just about, yeah, a little shy of it.
true.
Yeah.
We started with only 40.
Yeah.
20 years later, we're at 1,300 students.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And particularly out of COVID, the school has doubled in size in 2 years. So think about that in any other school, in any other environment. And think about the staffing, because we've actually staffed our school for even more than 1,300. We're thinking about next year as well.
Yes.
So again, that continuity. So we're trying to make sure that it's not the student body is growing and the staff keeping up. It's actually the other way around.
Yes.
All right, so we wanted the student body to grow into it. Creates a couple more positions we'll have to add.
Sure.
Because we don't want any lull or gap in that as well. Because if we accept students, we feel ethically, morally, professionally obliged to meet the needs of everybody as well. And hence the improvements in the facilities. And hopefully more is coming. We know more, but hopefully some bigger ideas coming over the future as well.
Sure. If I were to ask you to look into a crystal ball and tell us what the school's going to look like in 10 years, 30 years, what would you say?
Well, that's probably the most frightening question you could ask me. One of the things, and I think I can say this because the people who set up the school, their highnesses, it's not growth for the sake of growth. So it's not about becoming some 2,600 school or franchise model or anything like that. It really is about, first of all, having that community feeling, having that connection. Yeah, connection to people, number one. And quality assurance, that we trust in what we're doing, we know what we're doing, and we're impactful and intentional in what we're doing as well. And that's important. What that would look like as regards curriculum and things like this, I really hope the school will become a school of innovation that's willing to lead from the front now, because the school should have that confidence in itself. It's been around 20 years, it'll be around 50 years by then, or who knows. So it will be looked to as a school of choice by parents and families, but also a school of choice for staff members, but a school that's willing to innovate. Not in a risky way, because we know we'll get it right, that we can lead from the front in many things. And people are already having conversations with us right now about how we're doing certain things here, and we reciprocate that as well. But, when you talk about technology, I don't know, with the bricks and mortar school, I'm not sure anymore.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about AI and teachers.
Yeah.
I don't think a teacher will ever be replaced. But that whole thing about it, a teacher who uses AI will definitely replace a teacher who's not using AI.
Yeah.
That I can guarantee you, even now. So, but I think maybe there's a harmony here between building that social connection,
The human connection.
the soft skills that we talk about, to be able to work in a team, to be able to collaborate, to be able to present. AI won't teach you that. That never teach you that in a million years. But what AI could do is supplement that. Maybe your AI you could write an agent that's your math tutor at home to be able to supplement what a maths teacher is doing in a classroom. That problem solving, that inquiry, or what an English teacher could do. Yeah, using it as a tool.
Place for it. Yeah.
So it's almost like a sort of new flipped classroom in some way that I'd like to see us thinking about. And we're a school that can actually explore that, considering some of our sister companies and what they're looking to do as well. So very interesting times and very interesting conversations happen. We want to be very careful though. It's like being at the edge of a cliff. You don't want to be too close to the edge.
No.
Because there's some things that just, we're not sure what the consequences of these things are yet. So maybe just step back and we'll survey the landscape and we move with assurance, with guidelines and guardrails. Yeah.
And just coming to the end here of the podcast.
Oh, that was quick.
Looking ahead, what message would you like to share with the school community as we step into this next chapter? Like maybe like a one quote, and just it could be more. Just
One quote, so I have to think really carefully here. Be
one
deep
quote.
and
One
profound.
quote to end it.
One quote.
Esteemed.
Steve. Jeez, pressure.
In Terminator 2, Arnold's
Oh
first name
gosh,
said,
not your
"I'll be
Terminator.
back." Yeah,
And he was.
many times.
I would just say, maybe not just a sentence, lean into it. Everybody lean into it. Students lean into it. This is your school, be part of it, shape it through student council, through your voice. Not sitting whinging or complaining, that never happens. But just take on, there's opportunities for leadership here. There's opportunities for your voice to be heard when we start co-creating things. I'll say that for the faculty as well and staff, and they do, but more, maybe
Be the person you want to be.
be the more quieter, just lean into it here. And I say that to myself as well, lean into it, this is your school.
Yes, I feel like you're talking directly to me and doing to me.
I don't need to talk to you, I know you lean into it. You lean into it, you lean into it hard. Shoulder down. All right?
It's wonderful. Thank you for
Thank you guys. No, thank you.
Appreciate you being here.
Yeah.
I know you're a busy
It's
man.
fun.
Oh, you guys too, you're giving up your time.
Thank you so much.
That was good, it just felt so short. And each of those topics we could have talked about it for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
Thank you for being with us, ALS
Thank you.
community, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you.